everyone, welcome back to another Week Your Tastes video. We're now week number 44 in the series where I show you everything I've worn all through the week, and it's everything from my collection. So some things maybe designer, some things maybe niche or indie and from samples and such like that, but most of them are going to be cheapies because that is what I enjoy collecting and what this channel is all about. Starting off with the first day of last week, and it starts on Sunday, and most of you already know my church going routine is a lot cooler, especially in that morning and evening time, and decided to wear one that really fit the new fall feeling that I'm having now, and it's one that I use up the rest of this sample of a niche fragrance, and it's very bittersweet because I really enjoy it, but now it's gone. But there are clones out there that have been popping up very recently, which is crazy because this hasn't really been cloned a whole lot until recent, so it's kind of wild that people are just now taking notice on it, but I'm glad because now that I've used this up, it's timely and just in time for me to get a clone of this. But it's one that is by Xerjoff and is most well-known, one and only, everyone knows about it. It is the one and only Naxos. Absolutely love this fragrance. It's very lavender powdery, very aromatic in the beginning, and doesn't have a whole lot of sweetness to it, but there is a nice honey tobacco kind of style, which is what the main core of this fragrance is that honey tobacco, a little herbal aromatic, not really smoky, just a very almost green style tobacco, not too ashy, but it is there, dries down being a little, like I said, very powdery, very dry, woody, a little ambery. Absolutely love this fragrance. It's phenomenal. Had a great performance as well, like a medium, almost medium loud projection. Only so much you can get out of a sample because only so many sprays you can get, and I ran it till it was dry. But it did, what I did get on my skin did last, I mean, easily like almost 6+ hours is what was there, especially on my clothes. When I got home, I could still smell it on like my suit coats and things like that. But yeah, absolutely love this fragrance. Like I said, there are clones that are popping up now of this from Middle Eastern brands. One of the most noble ones that I keep seeing everywhere is, I think, by Fragrance World, and it's Fiorte Luna, the white bottle with the fox on the top. Really want to get that one and try it out. Everyone's hyping it up, but yeah, absolutely love this fragrance. And I know Bogart Pour Homme is another good alternative that smells similar to this, but that one is actually a lot more vanilla sweet than this, like almost a little midway between, you know, not too mature, but also not too youthful. But this one is definitely old money, mature, classy vibes, but absolutely love this one. I can see why it's hyped so much because it is definitely a worthy profile of such. But yeah, really love this one. If you get a chance to sample this, or if you have any of those clones, let me know what you think about them in the comments. Starting off on the first day of the work week, I wore one that not a lot of people may think of as a good office scent, but I think if you go very light with the sprays, especially anytime in the fall, winter, and springtime, especially as this cooler end of it, you can definitely get away with it. It's not as loud as what it's cloning. It's a way more tolerable, almost fresher take on that, maybe a little bit of a sweeter take on it as well, but it's by probably the most hyped cologne fragrance, especially from Lattafa. It is almost like a poster child of the company. It is Lattafa's Acid, or I'll just say Acid, Lattafa's Acid. Of course, all of you know that this is a clone of Dior Sauvage Elixir. I'm not gonna go through a whole lot because you mostly already know what this is like. Love this one. I definitely got that retro throwback, old school kind of style and vibe as it dried down. Like things similar to, like, you know, Drakkar Noir and Drakkar Intense and style fragrances like that, like the powerhouse 1980s, 90s style of masculine scents. It definitely had that kind of essence as it dried down. Maybe not so much so and as much as the original, you know, Dior Sauvage Elixir, but still had that. This is definitely more vanillic, very spicy, a lot of ambroxan in here, has a nice little coffee in here, a lot of good woodiness as it dries down, a lot of ambery warmth. But mainly what you're gonna get is the lavender ambroxan sweetness in this. Very lovely, absolutely love this one, but this does not perform as loud or as good as most people give it credit, or at least not on my skin. I did smell it on my, you know, jacket that I had on the next day, just a little bit, and maybe a little bit on my undershirt the next day, but for the most part, it did dry down a good bit as it got to the end of the day, and while it was there, I did get a compliment. Someone did say it smelled really good, so I did get that part of it, but it was definitely not as loud as Dior Sauvage Elixir, which may work in people's favor. They may think that's way too cloying, they want a more tame version of it. This would be the one to go with. Not as high quality as some of the other clones that's come out recently, and I really do want to try some of those, but still, it deserves a spot in the clone hall of fame that it is, especially from Lattafa. Works great, smells great. It can be a young guy wearing it, an older guy wearing it, anywhere in between. It works absolutely wonderful. Daytime, nighttime, casual, formal, whatever. Just dial up or dial down your sprays depending on what you're doing and how cold it is and things like that. But overall, really love this scent. Still think it absolutely deserves a place in the world of cologne fragrances. And that nighttime, had to keep my tradition of wearing at least one Belkin Parfum fragrance a week and decided to wear this one. Fit perfect for the night. It was a very cool night. Did some stuff around the house and just enjoyed it, chilling, hanging out. I think we even baked some cookies. I mean, there was one night last week we did that, and this worked absolutely perfect. And it was not the loud performer like I originally thought it would be, but that also kind of works in the favor too, along with like how I saw it was as well. But this is one by them that I talked about before, and I really love this one, and crazy the quality and the accuracy of this. It is one that is called Bold Tobacco. I have seen this one in Walmart before, but I already had it, so I never picked it up. But this is one you can find pretty regularly, even online at Amazon. But this is one that, if you can't tell by just the name of it, you can definitely tell by the scent itself. It is a clone of Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, and it is almost spot on. It doesn't have all the complexities of that fragrance, but as far as the overall profile, especially the style of vanilla that Tom Ford has in that fragrance, it is spot on, uncanny. You would definitely not be able to confuse this with anything else. It is nothing else but Tobacco Vanille. Smells amazing. You get that very well known, like I said, vanilla on the front, and then that little bit of a pipe tobacco, ashy, not too sweet, but the vanilla does add in some of that, but almost a smoky aspect, a little bit of spice in there as well. Like I said, it doesn't have all the complexities as the original, but the overall profile, it is there. And like I mentioned before, it's not as great performing as I originally thought. Then again, I didn't spray a whole lot on because I was here at the house and didn't want to, overwhelm everybody in here, but it was one that lasted maybe about 4 to 5 hours with a medium projection, then got more intimate as it went down, but one that is perfect for going out on the town on a date, maybe anytime nighttime things, even going out to a movie, but definitely formal gatherings, business attire, anything that is supposed to be very seductive or very professional. This has that along with it, with a little bit more alluring factor on both ends. Absolutely love it. Anything you want to wear Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille for, you'd wear this for, but definitely way lower than even a quarter of the price of that. It is phenomenal for what it is. The next work day, on that Tuesday, I actually wore 2 different samples, one at the first part of the day, and then when it dried off, I wore a different one after my lunch break. I'm not gonna talk a whole lot about these because I've talked about them almost to death because I've talked about all the samples that I've gotten from this company. It is by the niche company or indie company of Imaginary Authors. The one I wore that morning was this one that has, I think, been discontinued. It is Telegramma, and the one I wore after lunchtime was this one that I've talked about before called Cape Heartache, which a lot of people love from them. Telegramma is a very sweet, powdery lavender. It also has a unique note of a talcum powder, which is that kind of powder that gymnasts put on their hands before they do gripping stuff and things like that. But it has a very almost sweet, kind of almost burnt sugar, caramelized sugar kind of aspect in the beginning. It almost smells like how dissipated alcohol smells after you put it on plastic. Those of you who've done that, you know what I'm talking about. But it definitely smells like that, but in the most alluring and best way possible. Actually, it's very wearable. It smells amazing. Probably one of the better lavender scented stuff that I've smelled before. A lot of people say it smells like the original Le Mans, but I think it's way more nuanced than that. But this one was a great start to the morning. Again, it was a cool morning, not too warm, but not too cold. I think it worked great for that. And there was only a little bit left in it, so I sprayed it. It wore off by lunchtime. And again, not the best performance, but then again, what was there was definitely wearing off. So I sprayed on Cape Heartache. This one is a very pine, balsam, woody, smoky fragrance with a nice sweet strawberry note on the top. And I actually don't quite like the strawberry note now that I've worn it. I think now a 3rd time or 4th time, I've now decided that I actually don't like it. I like the beginning and maybe some of the dry down of the fragrance, the more woody aspects, but that strawberry note adds a kind of sweetness and a really kind of powdery sweetness that I just don't know if I really like. But everything else in this fragrance, I absolutely love. It's very photorealistic. Like, reminds me of camp outs I used to have with people from my church out in the woods. And you'd wake up early that morning and be fixing breakfast by a bonfire, and you'd smell the dewy woodiness in the air mixed with that smoke. It's very photorealistic. I said even Bentley for Men Absolute has a little bit of similarities to this, but minus the fruity sweetness in this. But yeah, absolutely love this one still. There's a little bit left in it, but I might give it off to someone else and see if they think about it instead, but still not bad at all. And then that nighttime, I was gonna go with a different fragrance, but I decided against it, and actually that one I'm gonna wear tonight. I'll talk about it in a little bit, but I decided to wear this one because I'm giving a whole lot of wears, and it did talk about it in my fall cheapies video of last year, and didn't really wear it a whole lot even in between that time, and I forgot really how great of a fragrance, especially the introduction to the style that this is. It is by Frank Olivier, and this one is Oud Touch, a very hyped cheapie. I really do want to get Oud Vanille. I think that's supposed to be a more vanilla sweet, kind of deeper, more higher quality version of this. And even though this says Oud Touch, there is no oud listed in the note breakdown, but it is unmistakably oud in this. But it's a very oud rose, Middle Eastern style, a little spicy, very woody though. Smells absolutely incredible for the price you get this up at, which I think this used to be a lot cheaper, like sub $20. Now it's a little hard to come by like most Frank Olivier stuff is, and it's like a little above 20, maybe almost $30, but still, I think it's well worth it. A great introductory fragrance into the Middle Eastern oud rose style, and great performance as well. Even smelled it on my bedclothes the next day when I went to rewear them, and had a great projection overall all through the night. Could smell it, my wife loved it, I loved it, and like I said, I guess I just forgot how great of a fragrance it is, and maybe this has matured since the last time I got it and opened it up, and it was even better since then. But yeah, absolutely love this one. Definitely hype this one up because it is very much worthy of it. Great quality, great style for the price. I think this one is perfect to wear all through the fall, winter, and springtime, day or night, probably more particularly night, depending on how cold it is. And I think it's great for going out, dates, or whatever. Probably not so much for office wear, but any other time aside from that, I think it is great. Absolutely love this one. Really recommend this one. If you do have this or any of the other ones, let me know what you think about it, but this one is one I think is definitely at the top of the list. On that next work day, the original fragrance I wanted to wear actually ended up evaporating out of the decant I had. I sprayed a little bit on and it smelled amazing, but not enough to talk about. So I sprayed this one on top of it, and my friend Charlie Phillips, if you're watching this, he's going to absolutely love this next little segment. It's one that he has talked about all the time, not just the whole line, but more particularly this one here. It is by Chimera Perfumes, which is a company that you see a lot at rack stores, more particularly Marshalls and TJ Maxx. And this one is the most well-known one from them, which is Contra for You. And if you can't tell, this is one that meant to smell like Stronger With You by Giorgio Armani. And it is literally one-to-one. It is probably the exact same quality and profile as Strong With You, the original one. The original EDT, maybe a little bit of intensely, but probably not as loud or sweet as that. But it's somewhere in between there. This is literally one-to-one with the original. Like, don't even worry about getting the original. Get this one, and it was only like $15.99, which is incredible for the quality in this and the performance you get out of this and the accuracy as well. Very, very nutty bubblegum, lavender, cinnamon sweetness in here. Everything you get out of the original, you're going to get in this one. Like I said, that chestnut nuttiness in here. And as it dried down, a little bit of amberiness, a little bit of a woodiness, but majority, a lot of lavender. Like I said, there is that spiciness of cinnamon. It is just absolutely wonderful. Really love this one, and performance was incredible. Lasted me literally the whole work day, like 6+ hours, with a medium projection overall. It was very medium loud at the beginning, depends on how much you spray. Not really one that you'd probably recommend wearing to work, but any time in the day, from fall, winter, spring, day or night, definitely casual and dates, this is a perfect one to go with. Or if you just want something that's cozy and very nice to wear at the house, this is a great one to go with. And like I said, the quality for the price is astronomical. Very, very good. All the ones from the Contra line are incredible. Recommend any of them, but this is probably one of the better ones to get as an introduction to that. Absolutely love it. And then that nighttime, I have my usual midweek service at church to go to, and I wore one that I have not given a whole lot of wear to. That you can only get it, I think, in a full-size bottle, so there's a whole lot to use here, but it's been a good while since I've worn this, and after wearing it, I was like, man, I don't know why I don't wear this more often. Some people may think it's a little bit of a redundant profile, but for what it does and how it takes on this is really, really good. And from a company you will not hear a whole lot about this one from. It is by Versace, and this one is Versace Oud Noir, or Pour Homme Oud Noir. This is one that has a strong comparison and connection to Oud Wood by Tom Ford, very much in that style, but it has Versace's take on it, which is a little more almost fresh Italian style. A tad bit more sweetness to it, and maybe a little bit more spiciness as well. Definitely a lot more of a woody factor, not as cardamom heavy as the other one, but it's almost equal. It is very nice. I do too. I really love this one. Not going to be as good a performer as even Woody Oud I have down here by Maison Alhambra, which clones Oud Wood. Definitely nowhere performing as that. It has a little bit of, it's definitely a little darkness, not as smoky, but has a little bit in there. Smells absolutely incredible. Like I said, Versace's Italian take on the Oud Wood profile, but unlike what a lot of people say about it, I actually don't get that good performance out of this. Some people say they get like eternal performance and it's so loud and it lasts forever, and maybe in some older batches it did, even though I only got this like 3 or 4 years ago. It does not perform that well on me. Definitely not as good as some other ones from Versace that I have. It has a nice medium projection overall, depending on how much you spray, and longevity is no more than 4 to 5 hours, especially if I'm working it a lot. It will go off way quicker than that. Maybe as it matures a little more, or maybe certain nights or certain skin conditions or whatever may be better. And now I will say on clothes it did last a little longer, but still not even so much to make that much of a difference. I do like it. It smells amazing, very smooth, super high quality, and like I said, very underrated from Versace, but not one that I would say you'd have to go out and get. There's a lot of other oud wood profiles that I'd recommend instead, but if you want to complete your Versace collection or just see what Versace's take could be on oud wood, this is a great one to go with. It still smells amazing, classy, sexy, very seductive, has a nice, like I said, old money kind of style vibe. If you think oud wood wasn't classy enough, get this one. It like upscales it just a little bit more, but I do really like this one, not talked a whole lot about, but I think some people need to check it out, especially if you're interested in it. Then the next day on that Thursday, wore one from a sample that I used all the way up. I sprayed a little bit in that morning, sprayed the rest on lunch break, and I actually really love this one. I know Alt Fragrances has a nice clone of this that I've seen out at rack stores, but I wouldn't mind just buying the original because I just love the blend and the profile in this. It is very much an experience and journey. It is by Maison Margiela. It's from the replica line, and this one is Autumn Vibes. Not that you can probably see that on the text there, but it is Autumn Vibes, and this literally smells like the idea of autumn. It is like the epiphany of the fall autumn season. It has a good bit of a almost dirty earthiness, very mossy, almost a little dark in the beginning, a little bit of a spiciness in here. There's nutmeg in here as well, which has that autumn vibe to it, and a lot of dry woodiness in here, almost like a damp woodiness. Like anytime I smell this and I spray it on, it gives me the visual image of walking on a dirt path in the woods with fall leaves falling all around me after it maybe rained like a day or two before that. Just a little bit damp, a little bit musky, but not so much. And I'm maybe just got done drinking a coffee or on my way to drink a coffee somewhere, because it has a nice sweet musky, almost amberiness on that dry down that you would not expect. You think, oh, it's too dry, it's too earthy. Then that sweetness comes up with a little more of that spice, and it just makes the whole thing blend all together. An amazingly blended fragrance. Not gonna be for everybody. It's very unique, very particular, but my style that I enjoy is this right here. Like I said, it has a very visual image, like photorealistic outside in the woods or on a path or at the park in the fall time. Absolutely love this fragrance, and performance isn't terrible on this. It's a nice 4 hours strong with a medium projection overall, but I really can't wait to get a full-size bottle so I can give it a full-size wear. But yeah, one that I have even another sample of this, and I am going to really enjoy that one until I get a full-size bottle. But yeah, if you've tried this, let me know what you think about it. Personally, I think this style is amazing. Then at nighttime, I actually went out of town to volunteer at a trunk or treats for another church and helped them out, and I wore one that I've smelled a little bit here and there, worn it a little bit here and there, but never gave it a full wearing, and I absolutely love this one. Just like Autumn Vibes, it actually layered very well on the dry down of that, and was another one that is like the epitome of fall time. It is a clone fragrance, and I will talk about this one a whole lot more because there's not a lot of things out there that are like this. And this one is by Pandora Scents, and it is Milano Privé. I know for a while that this one was very hyped, especially from Ross at TLTG Reviews and Dallas from Chaos Fragrances. He talked about it all the time, and they still both really talk about it a good bit, and there are reasons why I got this in the first place. If you don't already know, this is a clone of 1 Million Privé, which is now a discontinued fragrance, which makes this a lot more valuable and important in your collection. But this is one that is, like I said, is autumn in a bottle. It has almost a fruity apple cinnamon pie kind of style in the beginning. Even though there's no apple in this, I think it's actually blood orange, just like most of the 1 Million line. It smells like a fruity apple pie with a lot of cinnamon, and what makes this a Privé kind of style, the brown colorization, even on the original bottle, is that tobacco. Not really ashy, but it's a little aromatic, almost a tad bit smoky, but not so much. The majority thing you get out of this is that sweetness, so it's like more of a fruity sweet tobacco, very ambery, warm, has a little bit of a woodiness as it dries down, but majority of the time it's gonna be sweet all the way through, maybe a little bit of vanilla, but majority is just a tobacco sweet, fruity sweet, very spicy cinnamon fragrance. Love this stuff, absolutely love it. Like I said, it pairs perfectly with Autumn Vibes because this might as well be continuation of Autumn Vibes, and performance on this was phenomenal. Smelled it on my clothes the next day, and it lasted like a nice, as far as on me, like I remember I was only out for like maybe 5 or 6 hours, and the whole time I could smell it on me, trailing very well, so a nice medium loud projection. phenomenal, smells way better on skin even than it does on a test strip or in the air. Smells absolutely phenomenal. I can only imagine how much better and richer and deeper this will get as it matures on my shelf, but still, as it is, it smells great and very hard to come by. I mean, you do see it out and about on a lot of places. I got this from Fragflex, but it sells out very quickly and very easily, even though the hype isn't as high as it used to be, but you can get this for like almost right under $20. I think it's for like 22 or 23 or so, which is very, very good pricing for this. Absolutely love it. If you haven't got a chance to try this out, or if you know the original Women Privé and you don't have another bottle and you want something that will scratch that itch, this is a great one to go with. Absolutely love this. And then the last day of the work week, on that Friday, decided to wear another one that I've talked about this company a lot in the past, and I will continue to talk about them until I use up all the samples and other fragrances I have from them. It is by Scent Trunk, and it's one by them called Saffron. I think this is one of the best saffron scented fragrances I've ever smelled. It is photorealistic, super high quality, but very smooth. And like it says, the core note is saffron. That may be just a one note fragrance all the way through, but there are a few other things in here, a little more spices, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of a woody, ambery muskiness in here, but the core note you're gonna get is that saffron, adds a little of sweetness, adds a little of spice, adds a little of an aromatic, almost floral touch to it as well. This is one you can probably actually wear all year round, but especially in spring and fall time, I think it works even better. Absolutely love this. It's straight down the middle, unisex, guys or girls can wear it. But again, the highest quality saffron I think you'll be able to get is probably real saffron in this. Probably not a whole lot of it because it probably is a little expensive, but yeah, absolutely love this. It performed very, very well. Like it lasted almost the whole work day, like 6 hours or so, with a nice medium projection. Only so much you can spray out of a sample, and I wanted to keep some in it so I didn't overspray. But yeah, absolutely love this. If you have a chance to sample anything from Scent Trunk, highly recommend making sure this one is part of that sample kit, because this one is amazing. And then that nighttime, Halloween night, I went out with my wife and baby to a trunk or treat that our church was doing, and he was adorable. He was dressed up as a koala, and it was just the cutest thing ever. And then I had to quickly run out and do another grocery run and some shopping, and a little early Christmas shopping as well. I bought some things that she didn't know about for her, so keep that secret between us if you don't mind. But this one that I wore is one that I opened up in my recent cold weather cologne haul video, and I absolutely love it, guys. I really, really love this. Smelled tons better on my skin than it did even on a test strip and how people described it. This is right up my alley of the Middle Eastern style that I want in cold weather fragrances. It is by Swiss Arabian, and it is Shag Off Oud Azraq. This is a cologne of Honey Al Oud by Montal, but a lot of people say this has a smoother, not as aggressive style of oud and sweetness in it, unlike Montal, like a more wearable version of it. And I love this stuff. You immediately get that Montal Middle Eastern style of oud, actually a lot of smoky. I got a lot of smoke out of this, and a good bit of a cinnamon spiciness right along with a good bit of honey sweetness, but that honey isn't too tangy or realistic. It's just a sweetness in there. And sometimes honey can also give a little bit of a bitter and a malic quality, but I didn't get that. It's just a lot of sweetness in here. Like I said, a lot of spiciness, a lot of it, just that oud is the core thing of it. Oud honey is the main thing you get, which is what it's cloning. But yeah, absolutely love this one. Like I said, I got a good bit of an incense kind of smokiness all the way through, which add a little bit of a darker kind of nuance to it. But yeah, this stuff, phenomenal. Performance, phenomenal. A strong almost 6+ hours with a medium, almost medium loud projection. I didn't spray a whole lot on. Easily could have, but my first time wearing it, I didn't want to overdo it, and it would have smelled the whole car everywhere I went up. So I just did minimum sprays, and while it was there, it smelled amazing. Like I said, in way better quality and smooth than you'd expect for the price on this one, especially coming from a Middle Eastern company that not a whole lot of people talk about, but it is amazing. Absolutely probably one of the best ones that I've ever smelled from Swiss Arabian, and a lot of people do hype this one up, and I really want to get a lot of the other ones from the Shag Off Oud line. But yeah, this one I absolutely love. Really recommend you getting this. I know it does sell out pretty frequently because a lot of people do hype it up, but if you can get it, especially for a really good price, which usually it goes for like under $30, maybe a little over, then I highly recommend getting it. It's a great Middle Eastern sweet oud, spicy and smoky fragrance. It is phenomenal overall, just absolutely fantastic. And then today on Saturday was a very eventful day, and not really in the good way. I was planning on going out somewhere, had some car trouble, and I had to come back home and just stayed here at the house and did a lot of things. Hopefully got a little productive while I was here, and decided to wear one that I was gonna wear while I was going out anyway. It is by the Leak. Thought about this one a little bit, especially my Spring Cheapies video from this year, and it is this one called Linsemus. I know there's another one called Lemonissimus 04 or something like that, and I really want to get that one, but it's sold out a good bit. But when it does come back in stock, I want to make sure to get it. This is one that has a lot of similarities to By Killing Straight to Heaven and even Rokas Cologne Aromatic Touch. Very classy, mature, formal, easy to wear, upscale, but still not so much where you can't wear it casually. A good office scent as well, especially when you're dressed up and are going to business meetings and things like that. Very, very woody dominant, a little spicy, has actually, I think, like a bourbon note in here, a rum note in here, a little bit of a boozy sweetness, but ever so subtle in there, a little musky, a little bit powdery, but majority of what you're gonna get in this is a very nice woody centered fragrance. Like I said, very classy. Smells amazing, especially for the price. It is like a niche class style, but for a really, really cheap price. Absolutely love this one. I can smell it just a little bit on me right now, and I sprayed this one maybe about 6 hours ago and started dying off a good bit after the 5-hour mark, but it still is here just a little bit, but one that I'll probably spray something else on top of in here in just a little bit, and I'll talk about that one in a second. But yeah, absolutely love this one. Of course, if you can get it for a really good price, definitely go ahead and get it. I think I got this one for sub $30 for this size here on FragranceNet, but I really do like this one. If you have, perfect for the spring, winter, and fall time. Now, it's perfect for the spring, fall, and winter time, day or night. Like I said, casual, formal, good signature scent, especially if you're a more mature, older guy. This is a great one to go with for an everyday kind of scent. Probably not something to wear in the summertime, but definitely any other season, any other occasion, works great. Absolutely love this one. If you do have this or any other things from the league that you haven't seen before, let me know what you think about it, but this one I do really enjoy. And then tonight, I'm gonna wear one that I can't talk about yet because I haven't given a full wearing yet. I've just been smelling it from the atomizer and from test strips here and there. It's one that a lot of people consider a niche fragrance from a designer house that out of everything they put out, that this is definitely far off in left field and nothing like anything they've been produced before. It is by Gucci, and this is Gucci Guilty Absolute. I know this one also has been contended whether it is discontinued or not, even though you can still find it online everywhere, but really you're probably not gonna find this one in a retail store where you can go smell it right up and about. You'll just have to kind of get a sample of it or find a way to decant it or just blind buy it. But yeah, this is one that's definitely not safe blind buy. It has that very petrol, leather, piercing, almost medicinal, Band-Aid rubber kind of feel to it. Super unique, but apparently this is way better on skin as it dries down than it is in that opening, so I really can't wait to wear this tonight, and I'll be letting you guys know what I think about it sometime later in the future. But yeah, I'm really curious on this. I'm glad I got a bottle because I've been pushing it off for a long while. But there you guys, all the things I've worn all through the week. What do you think about these? Any of these that piqued your interest? Any of these that are your personal favorites or you have questions about, or maybe you're thinking about buying, or maybe some of these you don't like, or maybe you're like, hey, if you like that one, you'll like this other one instead. Let me know all the things about that in the comments below and what you think about it. And as usual, if you enjoy this video, please consider giving it a like and a thumbs up. Let me know to keep making these week rotation videos and even trying out newer and different fragrances. And if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, but you do like what you've seen here or what you've seen elsewhere on the channel, I encourage you to please consider supporting this channel by subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you can see all the other things that I have pending and working on in the background to bring out to all of you to watch and enjoy. I'd love for you to be right along with me on this cheap and inexpensive fragrance journey, and hey, maybe I can even help you discover something new along the way. And as always, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Again, thank you for being here and for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And I will see all of you again in the next video. Be blessed.